It was close to midnight in Santo Domingo. The city had gone quiet, its streets glimmering under the weak orange glow of flickering streetlights. Inside a tall glass building sat a recording studio at the heart of Santiago Matías's media empire. He was one of the most recognized businessmen in the Dominican Republic, a man known for controversy, bold opinions, and a hunger for attention. That night, he sat alone in his studio, editing the final cut of his newest show, a daring documentary about secret rituals among the island's elite. His team had begged him not to release it. Some of them had even quit during production. They said some things weren't meant to be shown. But Santiago laughed it off. He didn't believe in curses or old stories of spirits and shadows. He believed in power, in ratings, in being number one. The studio lights buzzed softly as the footage played across the screens. He watched his own face on the monitor, asking hard questions to nervous guests. Everything was perfect until the lights flickered. A cold gust swept across the sealed room, strong enough to make the curtains sway. The air smelled of salt and something burnt, like wet ashes. Then every screen went black except one. Static filled the air, and from it, a faint face began to form. A woman's face. Her skin was pale as chalk, her eyes hollow and wide, like someone trapped behind the glass. Santiago froze. The woman's lips moved slowly, and through the speakers came a whisper so low it almost felt like it was inside his head. "You shouldn't have shown them." The power cut instantly. The room went silent, except for the soft hum of the emergency lights. He sat there, frozen, the camera light still blinking red. He didn't tell anyone what happened that night. Instead, he convinced himself it was just exhaustion, a glitch, a trick of the mind. But deep down, something inside him felt wrong. The next morning, Santiago's producer found him asleep on the studio couch. He looked pale, his clothes damp with sweat. The camera's SD card was still in his hand. She took it and loaded the footage into the computer. But what she saw made her blood run cold. The entire interview footage was gone. Every guest, every question, every edit erased. In its place was a new recording. It showed the same studio from a different angle, darker, slower. In the corner of the frame, something moved. It was a shadow, shaped like a person, standing behind Santiago. Then the face appeared again, that same pale woman whispering into his ear. The sound file was corrupted, but one line came through clearly. He opened the gate. Santiago brushed it off and told his team to move on. But over the next few nights, the studio began to change. When he walked in, the lights would flicker like someone was already inside. The air conditioning unit turned itself on and off at random hours. And then came the sound's faint voices that bled through the sound system after midnight. Sometimes laughter, sometimes whispers, and sometimes screams. Technicians reinstalled the software, wiped the servers, replaced the cables, but the noises never stopped. The more they tried to erase them, the louder they grew. Online, fans began to notice strange things too. During his late-night live shows, viewers started sending messages saying they could see faces behind him. Some claimed they saw a woman in white passing by the glass window. Others said they could hear someone breathing behind the microphone. Santiago laughed it off publicly, calling it viral ghost rumors. But privately, he stopped sleeping. He started leaving the lights on at home. He even began recording prayers before every show just in case. One afternoon, while the crew was setting up for a shoot, an old priest appeared at the front door. He said he had come from Santiago's hometown, sent by a relative who'd seen the cursed broadcast. The man's hands trembled as he held up a wooden cross and said the video had opened a mirror-gated doorway between the living and the forgotten souls of the Caribbean. He warned that every time Santiago aired a new episode, the gate widened. Spirits trapped for centuries were now crossing through his camera lens. The priest begged him to destroy the equipment, especially the camera that filmed the first episode. "It is not a tool anymore," the priest said. "It is a doorway." But Santiago refused. That camera had made him famous. It was his trophy, his weapon, his pride. He laughed in the priest's face and threw him out of the studio. A week later, Santiago announced his biggest live stream yet, a solo broadcast called "The Truth They Don't Want You to Hear." Thousands of viewers joined. The lights were dim, the air heavy. The clock ticked past midnight. Halfway through the stream, the chat exploded. "Who's that behind you?" one user typed. "Turn around," another wrote. Dozens of comments poured in. "She's in the room." "She's standing right there." Santiago paused mid-sentence, his eyes shifting to the side. The camera began to shake. A faint whisper crawled to the microphone. "You shouldn't have shown them." The screen turned to static, then black. The next morning, police broke into the studio after no one could reach him. The lights were on, the computer still running, and the broadcast camera still recording. The room was empty. Santiago was gone. The only thing left was a camera pointed at an open doorway that led into a dark hallway. Weeks later, something even stranger happened. His social media accounts, which had been inactive since that night, began posting again. New clips, new short videos, the same background, the same setup. But his voice was different, slower, echoing like it was coming from somewhere far away. If you listened closely, you could hear the whisper under his voice, repeating the same words. "You shouldn't have shown them." No one knows who is uploading the videos. His family refuses to speak about it. Some say he's alive and hiding. Others say he's still inside the camera, trapped in a digital purgatory, streaming forever from the other side. And if you ever come across one of those videos at 3:03 a.m., do yourself a favor, don't pause it. Don't zoom in. Don't look too long at the reflection behind him, because whatever you see there isn't him anymore.